Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Right now, I'm going to give my final picks for tomorrow's card. UFC 304 going down tomorrow. I'm here to give my final picks for tomorrow's card. Um, things change when I release my first video earlier in the week on Monday to today. Um, so there may be some pick flips going on today, but I'm just here to give my final thoughts on the card and give my final picks. So let's get into the first fight. We have Shauna Bannon versus Elise Ardeline. Elise looked rough on the scale, weighing in like terrible. She looked very, very drained. Just it looked bad. It gave me Negan Anderson vibes walking into the apex against Amanda Nunes. Like she just looked drained. She looked pale. She looked bad. Um, I didn't think it was gonna be like that. I know she was coming in on this fight on short notice, but I thought she just would make it look better coming in on short notice. Um, and you know what? I think just because of the tough weight cut, and then kind of seeing them face off, I'm seeing Shauna Bannon kind of be a little bit more bigger, not weight, but just she's taller. I feel like, and she said now that they got the stats out, she has a reach advantage on Elise here. So I may be pick flipping here to the favorite. I started off on Monday saying I was taking the underdog here on Elise, but I may pick flip. My final pick is going to be Shauna Bannon to get this win by decision. Next fight, we have Mick Parkin, Lucas Bresky. Um, I'm still comfortable with my pick with Mick Parkin. I just think this is his fight to lose. Bresky can make this fight interesting on the feet, keeping up with the pace of the fight. I think volume wise, Bresky can make this a fight very interesting if it goes to the scorecards. But the way I see this fight going, and I hope that it goes, is that Mick Parkin uses his wrestling, gets this fight to the ground, makes this a tough fight for Bresky, and kind of just weighs on him and just tires him out on the ground. And when it does return to the feet, if Bresky can get up from the ground, he's drained, he's fatigued, and Parkin kind of, gets a win there. So I'm gonna say Mick Parkin gets a finish here. I know Bresky looked good on the scale today. He looked great physique wise. Can't say for the other side of for Mick Parkin. I think Parkin just kind of looks how he always looks, which is kind of every bit of 265, 266. Flabby guy, you know what I'm saying? The six pack, the physique is not there, but I feel like the skill set is good enough. It's good enough to get past a Lucas Bresky. So I'm gonna go Mick Parkin. I'm gonna say by TKO, man. Maybe a ground and pound. Next fight we have Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosby. Earlier in the week, my pick was Sam Patterson, and it's going to stay that way. I'm going to stay with Sam Patterson tomorrow. Give me Sam Patterson by submission. I'm just not huge. I'm not a big fan of Kiefer Crosby. I know people may be worrying about Patterson's chin if it's going to hold up. This fight is at 170. He did get knocked out at 155. So, I think Patterson is just going to look better kind of everywhere on this fight. Yes, he does stand up tall. His chin is tall. He doesn't really move his head, but I just don't think Kiefer Crosby has the reach to find the chin. I think he's just kind of meh. Stand up wise, he does have a brawling style, but I just think it's just too wild. And I think Sam Patterson's going to capitalize on the flurries and the brawl strikes from Crosby. And I can see Sam Patterson getting to the bag or getting this fight to the ground, maybe timing a takedown, and getting submission win here. So give me Sam Patterson by submission. Next up, probably my favorite fight, probably my favorite weigh-in today that I saw highlights of because I was at work when this whole thing was going down. We got Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kopp. Um, this is a tough fight, man. I know I was thinking about pick flipping here, going in the underdog side of Manel Kopp. He made weight. He didn't look bad. He looked good for making weight today. Um, Both of them seem fired up to kind of get into this fight at the weigh-ins. So, but I'm not going to pick flip, guys. I'm going to stay on my side. I'm going to stay on my pick. I'm going to go Muhammad Mokaev to get a decision win here. So, I think the third round is going to be very interesting. It's going to see. I'm very interested to see how Mokaev looks in the third round if it goes that far. Um, I'm interested to see the timing, the takedowns, see how his timing does. I'm interested to see how Kopp holds up defending the takedowns and how long he can defend Muhammad Mokaev's takedowns for. Um, I don't blame anyone going the underdog side here. The striking is very, very good from Manel Kopp. Explosive. I wouldn't be surprised if he surprised Mokaev with the flying knee if he does decide to shoot in and go for a takedown. But I'm just going, the final fight on the contract for Mokaev here. He has the youth on his side. He's younger. He's itching out these wins that are not where he looks great starting off, but he kind of fades in these fights. But he's still finding ways to beat these fighters. I just like the will. I love the fight in Muhammad Mokaev. He just has that dog in him, and he's going to be that dog for 15 minutes. And when Mokaev is in these 15-minute fights, I can't ignore him. So I'm going to lean Mokaev to just win more minutes using the grappling, kind of getting Kopp against the cage maybe, using the grappling more. And that window kind of shrinks with each minute that goes by from Kopp to land that shot to put away Mokaev. So I'm just going to lean Muhammad Mokaev here to stay undefeated by decision. Next fight, we have Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I started off the week going with Oban Elliott. I just thought the striking looks. I think Oban Elliott can make things exciting and interesting on the feet with the striking. I think the wrestling is. I think the wrestling is good. But I'm gonna pick flip here. There's something about me after watching tape this week and hearing more people talk about this fight. I think I just jumped on Oban Elliott because I saw the plus money. I saw the underdog money on his side, and I just thought Oban Elliott was an underdog I can attack this week. But it didn't sit well with me when I picked him on Monday, and it hadn't sat well with me throughout this whole week. So I'm pick flipping here. I'm gonna go Preston Parsons to get a finish here. I don't know how, submission or knockout. I don't know, but I think Preston Parsons is gonna get the finish here. But yeah, I wanted to believe what I was saying, but after watching tape and then hearing more people talk about this fight, it kind of made me feel like I needed to look more into this fight, and the tape study did not hold up in what I saw. So yeah, I'm gonna pick flip here. I'm gonna go with Preston Parsons. The next fight we have Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. My pick is going to stay the same for this fight. I'm going to go Bukauskas to get the decision win. It's not a bad thing to pick Marcin Prachnio. I think he will win in the more significant strikes. He may land more with volume, but I think that Bukauskas is just a cleaner striker here. I think he's going to be more in and out, landing the bigger shots here to win the rounds. landing the bigger shots here, the more effective strikes. But if this fight goes the distance, I think it could get very interesting to see how the judges call this fight. Because I think Marcin does a really good job of just landing more, landing the leg kicks on the last bit of his combos, stuff like that. So it's not a bad thing to go the underdog here, but I feel more better. I feel more comfortable picking Modestas Bukauskas and just what he brings to the stand-up game in this fight. So yeah, give me Modestas Bukauskas to win by decision. Next fight we have Jake Hadley versus Caolin Loughran, little Irish Brock Lesnar here. Jake Hadley was the only person that missed weight today, so I didn't like that. I'm going the Irishman here. I picked Loughran on Monday when I did my first picks, and I'm going to stay on this side. And I think Loughran's going to get a finish here. I think he's going to do a ground and pound TKO. I think Jake Hadley can make this fight interesting on the feet, but I think with the power and the accuracy from Caolin, I think he can get Jake Hadley out of here. I think this was a bad choice for Jake Hadley to take this fight on short notice. I may be wrong, but for me, I think a full camp would have made this fight a little bit closer, maybe going the distance, maybe. But I like the Irishman here. Minus 210 is what I see here. Just a more physically stronger person. I think he's going to have his way kind of everywhere on the ground. Stand up. I think he can find his angles to get Jake Hadley, hit him on the chin. But I'm going Loughran to get a TKO win here. So give me the Irishman to put on an impressive performance. Next up, we have Molly Meatball McCann versus Bruna Brazil. I'm going to stay on the McCann side. I'm staying on the Meatball side. Bruna Brazil, it's more of a show me type fight for me. I was a fan, but she just is so timid. She doesn't let her hands go. I feel like she doesn't trust herself. I think she wants to become a counter striker. But when you want to become that counter striker, you kind of get frozen up into where I think you're thinking way too much about the shots you want to throw and what you want to land to where you kind of don't throw anything. And now you're just in your own head, not putting out any volume. But I just think McCann can have her way against the cage. I think she can put out some nasty clinch work, be stronger with the uppercuts maybe. I think Bruna Brazil can be sneaky too with knees in the clinch, but just give me the power, just give me the rawness of Molly McCann, and just her pressure walking forward. I don't think Bruna Brazil is ready for this, and with McCann kind of fighting at home in front of her people, give me Molly Meatball McCann to put on another show, and she's going to end this fight with a knockout. Next up, we have the feature prelim. We have Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. This is another fight that people kind of had me scratching my head about, kind of going back and looking at some tape. But again, I'm just not. Daniel Pineda's good, especially on the ground. He does get a little bit crazy on the feet. And I totally forgot about Nathaniel Wood being kind of smaller in the 145 division. I totally forgot he's a natural 135er moving up, and now this is his new weight class. So he is a bit smaller in these matchups. I don't know. I think Daniel Pineda, I think his best days are behind him. I think he can have a strong few first minutes of the first round, and then he kind of just falls off. And I think Nathaniel Wood kind of thrives in these matchups. I think he's just going to land the better shots. I like the shot selection. I love the skill set. So I'm taking Nathaniel Wood. I'm gonna stay on the Wood side, and I think he gets a win. I'm gonna go decision. Now to kick off the pay-per-view portion of the UFC 304. To open up the pay-per-view, we have Arnold Allen fighting Giga Chikadze. On Monday, I went Arnold Allen, and I'm going to stay on the Allen side. Giga needed the curtain to weigh in today, and I'm not saying that's a terrible thing, but maybe the weight cut is getting harder for him, and he's a little older. Man, there were some people that were kind of make me sway my decision here, but I just decided to stay on Allen just for the power. And maybe it's a shot in the dark that he uses his wrestling in this fight. I'm hoping he uses his wrestling to kind of just give different looks to Giga. The body kicks from Giga worry me. The Giga kick, it worries me. But I just think for a bounce back performance, I just have more faith and I feel more comfortable going Arnold Allen here to pull off a decision win here. I don't think it's going to be a finish. I think it's going to go all 3 rounds, 15 minutes. Arnold Allen landing the more significant strikes. I think he just is going to close that distance on Giga and take away Giga's best strength. His strength here is in the distance and striking. So give me Arnold Allen by decision. Next up, we have Christian Leroy Duncan. I always want to say Leroy Jenkins. If you guys know that video from like old YouTube, so we got Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez. So on Monday, I went with RoboCop here. I thought he used his wrestling a little bit more. I thought he used his jiu-jitsu more. I guess he doesn't do that very much. And it's hard to get a gauge on when it's hard to get a gauge on it. I feel like Gregory Rodriguez kind of falls in love with the standing bang type fights. And with what he has shown, he got caught by Bruno Ferreira. And I don't know, man. Yeah, RoboCop is older. Leroy Duncan, a very clean striker. So if Rodriguez decides to go that route of standing and just just putting on a performance for the people, getting into the crowd and just like going all out on the feet, this man is going to go to sleep. And he's not known for, relying on his wrestling and getting fights to the ground and using his jiu-jitsu to, stuff like that. So I feel like it's a chance to take the dog here, which I was heavy on the dog start off Monday. And, man, I might just bite the bullet and just stay on the dog, to be honest with you. And I don't think Leroy Duncan has been finished either. So, again, you know what? I'm pick flipping. I'm going to go the favorite. I'm going to pick flip last minute. I'm going to go Christian Leroy Duncan. I just can't get behind trusting that Rodriguez is going to pull out the wrestling shoes or the grappling shoes and make this, getting this fight to the ground and just, getting Christian Leroy Duncan tired and stuff like that. So I'm going to go Christian Leroy Duncan, man. I pick flip. I was hoping to find a dog on this card. Next up, we have King Green, No More Bobby, versus Patty the Batty Pimblett. Listen, guys, I was heavy on the Pimblett side on Monday, and I'm going to stay on the Pimblett side today. Give me Patty the Batty by knockout tomorrow. There we go. Listen, this is going to be an interesting fight on the feet. But with the history that Bobby has had in his last few fights, getting he got rocked by Tony Ferguson in that first round. He hit the ground. I know he got up and won that fight and finished Tony Ferguson in the third round, but listen, if Tony Ferguson is doing that to you, I I think Patty's going to put you away. So, and then him getting stunned, he didn't get stunned, but I think he kind of he did get stunned by Jared Gordon, getting nasty knocked out by Jalen Turner. Terrible stoppage by the ref. So, in all these fights, maybe not the Jim Miller fight, but in other fights that I've seen, when is the chin going to go? Bobby's getting older, or King. So sorry, My Majesty. King is getting older, and just how long is he going to hold? How long is his chin going to hold up? And I know people want to pick at Patty and his stand up and him getting rocked by lower tier fighters who Bobby would wipe up no matter what. And Patty does have a brawling type style. He does get caught. His chin is holding up though. His chin has held up better in the UFC than Bobby's has. But I think Patty's gonna catch Bobby Green, and Bobby just holds his chin up. He doesn't have his hands high. His chin is exposed. He likes to roll with the punches. He does like to give and take punches, the strikes. But I just don't know if you want to do that with someone who has power in the hands like Patty does. I get it. Patty didn't put away Tony Ferguson. I get it. But I don't know, man. I just feel different about this. I feel like Patty's going to finish Bobby Green. So give me Patty Pimblett to stay undefeated in the UFC. And I have him not by knockout. Okay, I have Patty by knockout tomorrow night. My gosh. Next up, we have the co-main event for UFC 304. We have Tom Aspinall defending his interim belt versus Curtis Blades. Now, I want to say this. These last two fights, this co-main and main event, have been very, very tough. I mean, I've been really thinking about these last two fights because I think they are a lot closer than people think. Everyone looks at Tom Aspinall and just thinks I think he's going to be probably wherever. I think Tom Aspinall's career is going to end up as a heavyweight GOAT. Maybe the top 5, top 4 greatest heavyweights of all time. I think Tom Aspinall has that in his career whenever it ends. But I think this is his toughest match is Curtis Blades. I think the line is very disrespectful in this fight. A minus 400 is crazy. I get it. Tom is great. Tom is amazing. But against someone like Curtis Blades, who heavy on the wrestling, even though he hasn't shot for a takedown or gotten a takedown in the last few fights, but the hands, the striking is matching his wrestling, and that's what's kind of worrying me here. I think. I don't know, man. I'm hoping Tom doesn't overlook Curtis here. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm just hoping that Tom Aspinall is on his game because he has to be on his A game for all 25 minutes or however the long this fight lasts. Tom Aspinall has to be on his A game against Curtis Blades, or we can just kiss that John Jones fight goodbye. I'm going to take the champ here. I'm going to take Tom Aspinall, but again, I do not feel comfortable with this fight because I respect what Curtis Blades brings to the table, and I respect what Curtis Blades brings to this fight. Curtis Blades has the style to beat Tom Aspinall. So I will not be surprised if Curtis Blades ends up winning this fight. But I am going to stay on the champ side. I am going to take Tom Aspinall here, but I do not feel comfortable about it. Last fight of the night, in the main event, we have Leon Edwards defending his welterweight belt versus Belal Muhammad. Again, a tough fight, man. A tough fight to call. I think again, this might be Leon's toughest fight, and the no, well, maybe not with Shafkat, maybe not, but this is one of the toughest fights for Leon right now in the division. I think Belal is underrated as hell, but like I said on Monday, um, I worry about Leon just staying in the game for 25 minutes. I get worried with Leon staying engaged in the octagon for 5 rounds. I feel like when Leon is not winning the fight, I feel like he just loses that dog mentality to keep on fighting to win rounds. I feel like he just kind of feels sorry for himself sometimes. It reminds me of like a Rose Namajunas type thing. Like if they're mentally not there, then it's going to be a rough night for them. And we kind of saw that in the Usman fight where he, knocked out Usman with the last minute head kick and to win the belt. Leon won the first round, but those other rounds leading up to that finish was not good. And his dad had to give him the pep talk of a lifetime to get Leon to wake up and to do something and finish the fight, and he did. But I don't know. I love the skill set of Leon. I think the striking is going to be. I don't think the striking is going to be close on the feet in this fight. I know Belal has gotten better on the feet. I know his striking has improved, but Leon is so far ahead in that department. I just think Leon is going to kind of do some work on the feet. But when Belal is pushing the pace and he's shooting for takedowns and chain wrestling and just crowding the distance and closing the distance and just being annoying to deal with the wrestling for 15 minutes. What does Leon look like after defending so many takedowns? Is he going to be tired? Is the cardio holding up? Can Belal capitalize on a late finish because the cardio of Leon fails and now we have a fatigued champion in the 4th and 5th round? Does Belal have it in him, which I do think he does, to finish the fight late in the championship rounds? Again, this is a tough fight for Leon. I'm gonna go Leon by knockout. I said it, but again, I do not feel comfortable because I think Belal he's that guy, man. Belal's tough. Love him or hate him. Maybe you hate him, but the skill set, the mindset, I think Belal is so aware of the moment. I think he just realizes what's on the line for him. I think he realizes if he loses, he will never sniff a title shot ever again because I don't think the UFC wants to back him or give him that shot. I don't think Dana wants him as a champion. I don't think a lot of people want him as a champion. So this man is aware of the moment. I think he's ready for the moment. But what does that look like for the champion? Is a champion matching that energy from Belal? They were talking spicy, bro. They were talking. Like they wanted to kill each other at the weigh-ins. I love the energy that they're giving off for this fight. The weigh-ins kind of got me more excited for this fight. Just seeing how Leon was so like, I'm gonna knock you that out. I'm gonna knock you that out. Just has that energy like I'm about to sun you, bro. I'm about to sun you on Saturday. And Belal always believing in himself, which he should. But this fight is a lot closer than a lot of people think. So give me and still by a knockout. So I don't think I ended up with no underdogs for my picks, my final picks. I did have underdogs on Monday. I had 4 underdogs on Monday, and now I have none. Paddy Pimblett might be the only underdog, but as of right now, the lines are even. It's a pick 'em, so yeah. So that's where I'm at, guys. There were some pick flips. I just thought I would make a video describing why I pick flipped some of my picks. But good luck to you guys. Hopefully you guys win some money. Hopefully you guys get your picks right. But let me know in the comment section what you guys feel. Let me know what your picks are, how we're feeling about the event going down tomorrow, UFC 304. I'm hella excited. I'm more excited about the card after seeing the weigh-ins and just seeing just the Manel Kopp, Mokaev, the championship fight, the main event. I love the energy that's going into this card tomorrow. So let's get it, guys. Hopefully you guys get your picks right. Thank you guys again for checking me out. Hopefully I do enough on your sub. Like the video and let me know your picks in the comments. Thank you, guys. Keep it a buck.
Try me, I can make the name. Potato barrel making mashed potatoes. They can't play me, boy, I'm gravy. I be ballin' full quarters, storing shit like a hoarder, Sleepy stretching with a big foe. Guess you playing power forward, Ride on my enemies, bumping that pop,